everyone, it's Clarice, and today I'm going to be reviewing Fuzzy Nation by John Scalzi. Fuzzy Nation is set in what I assume is the future, wherein us humans no longer limit ourselves to our own planets and are already exploring multiple other planets. This book focuses on how we go to other planets to excavate them and strip them of their resources. The main character of this book is Jack Holloway, who is a contract surveyor working on this one planet for this big, huge corporation called ZaraCorp. And ZaraCorp mainly, as previously mentioned, is one of those companies that deals with the excavation of planets and looks for valuable resources on these planets and takes it from them. And he is working to try to find, I guess, mineral deposits and things like that. But one day Jack Holloway is just doing his job, rather irresponsibly, but doing his job, when he discovers something, and then he discovers something else, which he later on realizes could make a great impact on not only his life, but also on ZaraCorp and on the entire planet that he was on. I could go into more detail with that plot, but I'd rather not, so I'll just leave it at that. This was actually the very first audiobook that I ever listened to, and if you're trying to get into audiobooks, I suggest this one. It's narrated by Will Wheaton, and he's a really good narrator. I have nothing to go on to compare to it because, again, it's my first audiobook, but I enjoyed my experience with this one, so I highly suggest it. Not only do I recommend it because it was a good audiobook, but also because it was just a good book in general. I really enjoyed it. I absolutely loved it. It's probably among my favorite books of all time now, and for several reasons. One of the reasons I liked it was because of the main character, Jack Holloway. I love sarcastic and blunt and witty characters, and Jack Holloway was definitely one of those characters. He was really funny, but he was also kind of an asshole, but at the same time, I didn't hate him at all. It was just really enjoyable reading from his perspective of things, and also in addition to that, because of the kind of character that he was, I really enjoyed like the dialogue between him and other people, just him arguing with and getting on the nerves of everyone around him. It was really fun to read. Also, just so you know, a big chunk of this book spent in the courtroom, which I personally really enjoyed. The court scenes were pretty epic, which they should be because it was most of the book, but I just really liked how they battled through the words. It was just so engrossing, and things didn't always necessarily go the way you would expect them to, in both good ways and bad ways. It was just a really smart book in terms of the dialogue and the things that it dealt with. Another thing to note, this book involves a lot of animals, so if you really like adorable animals, I think you'll enjoy this book. I personally am not actually an animal person in real life, like with actual real animals, but there were so many just extremely adorable scenes in this book, and I couldn't help but aw out loud a few times. You know, it was weird. You can't even see them, you're just reading about them, and yet I found the fuzzy creatures just so freaking adorable. And another thing I want to mention, as cheesy as it sounds, that this book just had really good messages. The way they were presented just really made you think about them. They weren't just shoved in your face. They were really explored, and reading about it just made me think about these things by myself as well, and made me come to the same conclusions that the book eventually did. The book wasn't the one just telling me what the message was, you know, and even though the messages were really clear, they again were not in your face, but they were very much a big part of the book, and I really appreciate that. So that was my review of Fuzzy Nation. If you have read this book or plan to read this book, please comment down below. I love to hear your thoughts. Anyway, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!